Hi, it's Justyna here from Flight of the Phoenix Holistic Therapy. Today we will continue on the topic of anger, but I couldn't tell you about anger without mentioning few key episodes of my life and um, how that anger built and how am I still healing from it, and how I hope that this video will help you to um, kind of find your own path and validate or maybe acknowledge that you're not alone in this experience. Now, I have to give a little trigger warning because I will be talking about personal stories when I was assaulted, sexually, emotionally, and so this may be a little bit raw. That's why stay warned. Um, and if you don't want to listen to it, of course you are welcome to stop watching or listening. Okay, so why am I recording this video and why I want to talk about those things, those ugly things that nobody wants to talk about? Or maybe people do. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Um, because if people were talking about those things, they wouldn't happen so often. So anyway, I will tell you how kind of from the childhood I was a little bit conditioned to fear men and to be in survival mode. And kind of the first episode, or maybe not the first, but one of the ones that kind of pulled me out of my innocence was when we were visiting someone with my family. I'm not gonna obviously give names or anything like that because the video is not to blame here. It's to tell the truth of my experience and stop the silence. That is the reason for this video, and it's part of my healing as well. So yes, so we've been visiting someone when I was a kid. I think I was about 9 or 10. I was just a little girl, innocent, happy, very cheerful. I was very alive kid, very loud. Nothing changed there. Um, very happy, curious. But that was stopped within minutes or seconds when a boy that was in that place that we were visiting at the time um, started like smirking at me and smiling at me and being like a little bit sinister and started saying vulgar things and wanted to, it threatened me that he will grab me by certain things, which I hardly had because I was 9 or 8 or whatever. And that was it sounds like a child's play. It sounds like it's silly that I should even remember such a thing. But that's all I remember from the picture that was taken with my family in that place when this boy threatened me. And I felt very, very scared. Um, I don't think I ever felt that scared before. I felt like I need to defend myself, like I need to survive, like I need to get out of this situation. It's not safe. I felt that this boy had power over me because he was bigger, that he had control, and I felt helpless. Needless to say, I never came back there into that place. And I would definitely argue with my parents if they would send me there again, ever. But obviously, I never told that to anyone apart from the entire world right now, and few of my friends when I was growing up, and obviously my therapist. Um, because it was like, oh, it happened, it's normal, moving on. But it was experience that obviously had an impact because being 41 years old now, I still remember it well. It shocked me. It created response. I was frozen in spot, um, and I didn't know what to do. Now, I had several episodes of sexual assault or any kind of assault in my lifetime. The second one happened when I was as a young adult. I was walking back from some corporate dinner or something. I was in the middle of the Oxford Street in London. And there was lots of people around us and everything, and I was walking myself. Would I say I was dressed provocatively? I liked having tight jeans and a tight top. But I mean, what woman doesn't, like we dress how we like, and I don't feel that I should stop myself from dressing in a specific way to avoid anything. But anyway, I basically, in matter of seconds, my dignity, my freedom, my power was taken away from me when that guy just grabbed me by, yes, you know it. Um, and he grabbed me, um, like Trump. That's all I'm gonna say. And um, and I turned around in shock and I punched him. And then another guy punched me in the back of my head. Um, and I kind of fell down a bit because I guess this punch can kill you if it's done right. But for a moment, I blacked out and I stood up again, ready to fight more. But then there was another guy that came to give me a warning saying, you better turn around and leave, or this may end up badly for you. Well, so yeah, obviously I wasn't fighting with that. I decided to turn around, walk away with my tail between my legs, my dignity taken away, and feeling again completely powerless, helpless. Um, the audacity of the situation, the fact that I was in the middle of the street, there were millions of people around us, and the only help that came was a guy with the warning that you better go now. That was it. There was no help from outside. I was alone. And I just went home and like nothing ever happened. Um, so that was quite a big story because it was very violating and it was very public. It was humiliating. And it was silenced. Anyway, then there was another episode. Oh, there was many. Like I have countless situation of friends violating my boundaries, but to be fair to them, I didn't have any. Because as I said previously on previous videos, I was most of my young adult life in a survival mode. I was always on the back foot because I was alone. I was not supported. Nobody would help me. It was just me or me. I had no one to turn to. Often, if I needed help, I would ask a colleague from work to help me because I literally had just myself and a backpack or suitcases. There was not much I had at the time. Um, but life was an adventure and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't all suffering, just to remind myself, but there were episodes that unfortunately contributed to my already full-on trauma. And so, um, yeah, and now I'm healing from it. So here we are. Anyway, moving on to next story. Next story is that one is actually really painful, and I will have to skip through some bits because I might get triggered. You might get triggered, and we don't want that. The idea is that I want to highlight how those moments, those events are being silenced, diminished, like they mean nothing. I can't tell you how many times I'm telling the story to someone and and I meet with a blank face, with a blank stare, like the person that I'm talking to is completely incapable of compassion or even understanding of what I possibly could gone through in the situation. A lot of people normalize those events. A lot of people put blame on the victims, that you dressed in specific way. You must have been arguing with him. You must have said something. It's your fault. And yeah, there is that part that's you get to that guilt, the anger, and everything in between. And we're going to talk about it. But before that, I want to tell you this story because, yeah, because it was a little bit brutal. So, again, no names here. Um, I was in a relationship where I didn't see the red flags or I chose to ignore them. Anyway, it was one of those evenings where I was going to, it was late at night, I was going to sleep, and because I had to get up to work next day. My partner at the time, he didn't work and he didn't have the need of understanding that other people need sleep. And basically, I went to kitchen to quiet him down, and I didn't ask politely. Let's just say that I was rude. I said, "Can you shut up, eat your dinner, and let's go to bed?" Um, so he reacted with similar aggression by throwing the plate of food on the floor, for which I have slapped him. And then he turned it up on his side. Um, And yeah, and I ended up on the floor and he headbutted me and my nose was bleeding. Um, and then he ran away because he was scared that I would be calling police. I obviously wouldn't. I would never do such a thing, because he was the most important human at the time for me. It was a person I loved, I cared for. I I sacrificed a lot for. I lied for him. I pretended for him. I earned money for him, um, to make him happy. And and that was what I thought I deserved at the time, obviously. And in all fairness to the man, um, he had his own traumas and he had his own unhealed um, pain that he was not able to regulate. So, you know, I don't think he was bad person or bad human. I think shit happens to you in life and you become a bully or a victim or somewhere in between. And hurt people hurt people. And I'm sure I hurt some people in my life too. Because because the pain, the trauma, the suffering is normalized as if it is a normal thing. But obviously it's not. If we would validate people's experience, if we would acknowledge that it wasn't okay, instead of saying, "Oh, well, life is unfair." Duh, didn't you know? Like, you know, then maybe we would have more people who would try to take responsibility for their healing, who would acknowledge their part, the pain that was caused to them, and ultimately the world would be a better place. But coming back to the story, so yes, headbutt, floor, blood. He went away, and then he came back and noticing that I'm in distress, obviously, he decided that sex is a good idea to have after I just been assaulted. Um, yeah. Um, Ultimately, I think I keep saying ultimately. Sorry, it's very traumatizing experience. Um, I think I left my body. I think my soul left my body. I think my body moved through the emotions, but I felt like like I had no ability to say no, that I was scared of consequences. I was trying to survive this situation and calm it down um, and use all my possible stress responses that are available. I froze. I didn't fight anymore, and I fallen. I should know this. um, which is I just gave what I thought I had to give of value to survive the situation. It's so violating. It's so like your dignity is being stripped of you. The helplessness of the situation, the powerlessness. Sure, you can leave. Sure, you can call police. But everybody's smart when they stand outside of the situation. Hardly we see and are aware that there is way out of the situation where we are in it. So this is where I want to go to the next part of this episode, not just traumatic part. Oh, and by the way, I did forget to say, next day of that assault was my birthday, and I was at work, and nobody even noticed my puffy eyes and my red dot in my nose because I was a party happy girl, and nobody ever cared to ask me, "Are you okay?" Because it was my birthday, right? Anyway, um, after my birthday, I took my partner at the time for dinner, for which I have paid. And this is what I thought I deserved. Silence the experience, to pretend like it was okay, to allow it to happen, to continue the pattern, because I thought that this is what I'm worthy of, that all I have to offer is my body and my smiley face. That's it. So this is my part in this story because I can't blame him. I allowed things to happen. Yes, fair enough, the situation on the street, the situation when I was a child were different. I was shocked by the event. I didn't know what to do. There was no way out of the situation. But in this last story, I saw the signals. I should have reacted earlier. Am I blaming myself still? Maybe. Was this a good experience for my podcast? And for I guess growth. Yes, I learned after that how to slowly love myself, how to see what I really deserve and what I'm no longer happy to accept in my life. Um, it was a huge karmic lesson that I don't wish on anyone, obviously. Um, and people tell you to get over it. People tell you that, oh, it happened. Why are you yapping about this? Like, I don't know, because it's still in my body. The yeah, it's like if my mother would listen to this, she would say that it was my fault because I'm stupid. I should have stayed in Poland in her safe home with her, or like you know, that I shouldn't get out and travel and experience life, or be free and happy and open and curious because somebody will be there to squash it. And I choose not to believe that this is, I don't want to close myself in a house and live like that. I do not want to be scared of living just because there is some dysregulated person out there to hurt me, that wants to hurt me. Sorry. My grammar is lessening with the emotion, unfortunately. So, yes, the next part, the body response, I guess, what I felt, I think I already touched on freezing. There's often people say, "Oh, why didn't you do this or that? Why didn't you spot the whatever?" There was this like victim hunt or something, like, people trying to, they don't understand how did you end up in this situation, so they somehow ending up asking you questions that make you feel like you are at fault as a victim. And I'm here to tell you that you are not at fault, that your experience, however you reacted, is based on how you were brought up by the programming, conditioning, how your parents treated themselves. Did they teach you to say no? Or did they teach you to protect yourself in any way, or did they just took it? Like, it's really experience. You know what you know at the time, and you react with the full knowledge of what you know then. What I know now is way more what I knew then. So I know now to not blame myself for those choices that I have made myself, because I didn't have the knowledge at the time. I thought at the time, this is all I deserve, this is all I know. Abuse felt familiar to me because this is what I experienced at home. The the dynamic of anxious and avoidant relationship, not secure relationships. Um, you recognize things. That's why sometimes people fell in love in people that are exact replica of the people that hurt them previously, because you are drawn to something familiar. And when you have trauma, when you have bad experiences in life, rape, domestic abuse, you're gonna be drawn to those things unless you heal it, unless you start breaking the pattern, changing. Because, those feelings can get addictive. The feeling of loss of power, the feeling of control, the helplessness, um, powerlessness, the I no longer will make decisions because obviously I can't trust myself. I've been there. I've done this. I gave power to people over me because I decided at the time that I clearly don't know what I'm fucking doing in this life. And that I don't know what's right, what's wrong. People keep taking, I keep giving, I keep ending up in a shit situation. I clearly don't know what I'm doing. So I gave someone else power over me. Thank God, some of the people I gave power to were good people and they didn't abuse the power. But that was, I think, universe sign trying to show me that there is goodness in this world and I deserve it. I have little my notes here what I'm supposed to be talking about because I get emotional and I blab like now. Um, so what I'm experiencing physically at this moment is the tightness in my throat, in my chest, in my shoulders. I also feel something in the feminine parts, which is unpleasant. There is this feeling when I come back or connect to the memory of any sexual kind of assault. It's a feeling of disgust. It feels like the body doesn't belong to me, like it betrays me, like it reacts positively when my mind is saying no. It's a very confusing feeling. Um, the it's important to let that pain out of your body because it will stay there, it lives there. Um, and it doesn't help to kind of be experiencing uh, how you call it? I lost my train of thoughts. It doesn't help when you confuse like this, when you feel like this, when other people blame you. It doesn't. It's just another level of abuse just from people that you expect should support you. I don't know if you ever experienced this, but sometimes women bully other women for being attacked. I'm not, to be honest, like, is that gender specific? No, I can't generalize. The judgment can come both from men and women, but it is shocking when it comes from a woman because you would think women would understand the violation. Um, because you feel like something has been taken away from you. Um, and it does. Everything is taken away from you. Your boundaries are crossed. Your body doesn't feel like it belongs to you. You have no dignity, no self-respect. All you've got is anger that it happened to you, the injustice of the world, and then the guilt that perhaps it was my fault. The even idea of thinking that it's your fault. No, it is not your fault. It never was your fault. You make choices and decisions in life based on the knowledge you've got and experiences you had in life. You know what you know at the time. And that's why it's so important to take responsibility for healing of what you've experienced. It's not enough to just go through the pain and do nothing with it. You must address it, you must validate it, you must acknowledge it, you must speak about it. This very video that I'm making here is my healing part, my healing journey. That I'm not going to be quiet anymore, that this wasn't okay. This was never okay. And I choose to not be angry anymore about it. Why? or ask myself why questions like why this person have such an easy life, like nothing ever happened to them, always happy, always supported, always money flies from the skies for them. Why did I have to go through this pain? Don't know the answer to that question, but I will say that well, I grew up from it because I chose and I've taken responsibility to heal myself. I have done many things myself, for sure, um, that stem from fear, not from love. And it's important to choose love, to come from love to yourself, from love for yourself, not love to other, because that can be blinding. Because I've done many things for other people because I love them so much. We need to start choosing ourselves, taking responsibility for ourselves, for our emotions, reactions, for the way we are. If something isn't agreeing with the who we want to be, we must change it and we must work on it. It's building the habit. It's not going to be easy to completely become a different person. It's a process, obviously. But the first step is acknowledging that you've been through something, that you experience it. It was yours to experience. It was yours to feel. And you had the right then to be angry afterwards. I had the right to be angry. I have the fucking right to be angry, you know? And I'm okay with it. And that's why I'm using my anger to motivate, um, to shed some light on those things. The truth sometimes is not pretty. It's fucking ugly. It it's I still am sometimes ashamed of some things when I think back, but what can you do? You need to face it, talk about it, release it, write about it, write a letter to yourself. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be a victim or do you want to be survivor? Do you want to thrive or just survive? When when you're angry, when I'm angry, I'm blind. I don't see the opportunities. I feel like all the doors are closed. I don't feel gratitude. It's so hard to feel gratitude when you're angry. Um, Anger, sadness are all very addictive emotions. It's so easy to just spiral down. Listen to sad music and watch sad movies and just pity yourself. Then you go all other way. You might go completely opposite way where you're like constantly fighting, taking, start taking because it was taken from you. And I'm trying to find a middle. I'm trying to find healthy life where I am free to choose, to decide, where I no longer give power or control to other people. And I actually recently I had like insight or a moment. I was talking to my husband and people often ask me like what do I want, and I always was saying I just want to be on top. I want to be the king. I want to be that person on top. So but nobody ever asked me why. And that's why we discovered that I actually don't never wanted to be a king or the person on top. Philip, my husband, asked me why I want to be there because I never want to feel helpless and powerless again. I don't want anyone to ever have control over me like it happened in my life previously before. So I discovered that I don't crave power or control. I don't care what other people do. I honestly don't. I don't have a need of controlling anyone or wanting anything from anyone. I just want to be free. I don't want anybody to tell me anything. I have my own sense of what's right and wrong. I don't need to be pushed into any direction. I don't need to be controlled. I survived enough to know. And I don't want to do that to anyone else. Everybody's life is their journey. That's why I feel like I never had the need of, or I was in conflict with um, telling people how they should be. I was always easy in a sense. And I think that easiness gave people idea that, well, if you so easy, I can do whatever you fucking want. It's sad that the innocence, the curiosity, the openness is being considered as a weakness and something to abuse or take. Um, and it's good that I can talk about it um, and feel good about it. And I am grateful for the experiences I had in life. They were very painful. In many, I took part consciously. And that is hard to face as well. But I am grateful for this life. I feel like I lived, I experienced, um I had ability to see things I never thought I will see, because I made certain choices, and I started trusting myself in my own resourcefulness. Because yes, I survived all those things. Yes, I had to do certain things to survive, but that showed me how strong I am, how much I'm capable of. So this is my message to you as well. Just because you are in a certain situation right now doesn't mean you're always going to be there. You have the doors out. You can get out. You can change. If you cannot change your environment, you can slowly start changing yourself, but not to allow abuse. It's to create space for yourself and peace so your mind is clear enough so you can make decisions. Because nobody really has power over you. You give it to them. So instead of choosing anger and resentment, instead of choosing to give control to other people over you, start thinking, what is what you need? How can I give it to myself? Meditate, build awareness about the situation you find yourself in. Is this normal? Is your heart telling you that this was normal or this is normal? And if it isn't, how can you get out of the situation? And of course, it's easy for me to say because I um, never let myself to be in a situation so much where you have dependence on you as well. Children, for instance, it's a very different story that I can't tell because I never been in it. I never had children to run away with from something. I don't know how that feels like. That's a story of someone who knows, and I believe that mothers are capable of doing a lot for their children. Um, some mothers, yes. So the hope is the hope I'm giving. is that it is not your fault, that you can heal this. You are not broken for sure. These are all the lessons to help your growth, but it's up to you to grow instead of being stuck in the same loop of the same pattern. You have to make the choice to heal. You have to make the choice to take responsibility for this healing. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope this was valuable. I hope this brought more than pain, a little bit of acknowledgement or validation that you're not alone. And this can be a little bit triggering, obviously. So if that feels okay, I just want you to place your hands on whatever you're touching right now. Maybe close your eyes if that feels all right. If not, just gaze downwards and just feel what you're touching. What is it? What's the texture of it? Notice the temperature of it. Notice how it feels against your skin. And just move it from side to side, back and forth. Take a nice deep breath in and breath out. And come back to yourself. You are worthy of love, true love. You are worthy of this life. And you are never alone in this healing journey. Reach out if you need to. Doesn't have to be me. There's plenty of other therapists out there who knows a lot of scientific stuff. So reach out whoever you feel safe and comfortable with to support you in your healing journey. Thank you.